Mastercard and McLaren Racing have inked a multi-year deal that will see it become a major sponsor of the McLaren F1 team. For highlights on this deal and other global marketing industry trends, I'm joined by Rajamannar, the Chief Marketing and Communications Officer at Mastercard. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's F1 weekend here in Abu Dhabi. Tell us about this latest partnership with McLaren and about the interesting activations that you're carrying out during the Formula One Grand Prix.
So firstly, we are really thrilled to have this partnership with McLaren. We were looking at F1 as a space that we should get into, given how fast that sport is rising in terms of fan following. And number two, the composition of the fan following is very favorable to us, which is about 40% of them are women. And women, as you know, are the biggest decision makers for purchase. And we are in the payments technology business, so there was a beautiful fit. Second, within the area of Formula One, we have seen that McLaren is the most loved brand amongst women. And it's one of the fastest growing teams with a lot of positive attribution and positive image around it. So for us, therefore, it was a wonderful opportunity. And I think we also got in partnership with McLaren at the right time. And it looks like they have got hopefully fantastic results in store for them. I would not want to jinx anything, but I think there is going to be a lot of good stuff happening. So this is the reason why we got into F1 and with McLaren.
It's wonderful that you're catering to women. Let's talk a little bit about technology. How are you crafting multi-sensory experiential marketing using AI and Web3 technologies?
So first and foremost, Web3 had gone through phases right now. And things like the blockchains and cryptocurrencies and you've got augmented reality, virtual reality. These are sort of having their moments, high moments and low moments. But in the medium term, they will all come back. And we have been experimenting a lot in the Web3 space. That's number one. Number two, experiences is where we are focused quite a lot. So we used to be an advertising-led marketing company, like most of the other marketing companies are. But then what we have seen is that the advertising clutter has gone so dramatically high that cutting through that clutter and standing in front of consumers to impress them enough to shift their preferences is getting more and more difficult. So we said the best way to grab consumers' attention is to give them immersive experiences and give those experiences that money cannot buy, but they can get only through Mastercard. So therefore, experiential marketing is what our primary platform is. And something like F1 would give us a phenomenal opportunity to curate those priceless experiences for our customers, and in this case, through McLaren team.
Tell us a little bit more about the impact that AI and generative AI will have on the marketing industry in the years ahead.
So AI probably has got one of the most significant impacts in the world of marketing. If you look at the entire marketing value chain, all the way from consumer insights, how do you get to insights that are not obvious and gleaned through data that is completely disparate? And from extremely wide and unconnected areas, if you can make sense out of it, read into patterns and get to insights that are actionable, it's going to be game-changing. AI is already doing it, number one. I always say that the work of the agencies when they're creating your campaigns is as good or as bad as the briefs that you give them. What I have found is AI is so useful to give crystal clear briefs to your agency that they can come up with fantastic solutions. Third, AI is not going to replace human beings, and it is not going to create original creations, so to speak. But when you look at commercial creativity, AI can do so much of good, both in terms of the speed, the variety, as well as the economics. It's absolutely astounding. So AI is going to transform marketing end-to-end at an unprecedented level. And this is actually one of the chapters I wrote in my book, Quantum Marketing.
Let's talk a little bit about your book, Quantum Marketing, a bestseller internationally, published in several languages. Tell us about the key concept of quantum marketing.
So marketing that we practice today is based on principles and strategies that are at least 60 years old from the days of Philip Kotler. Foundationally, they are strong, but the manifestation in today's society is completely different. It needs to be. And I find that a lot of things that used to work in the past no longer work. And so marketing has to be reinvented. Marketing has to be reimagined. That new way of doing marketing is what I call as quantum marketing. Everything from how do you do market research? Is there something called a purchase funnel? Does advertising work? What is experiential marketing? What is multi-sensory marketing? What is audio branding or sonic branding? These are all the concepts which I have deeply examined in the book, and it seems to be resonating very well. But most importantly, they say in the US, you got to eat your own dog food. So I practice what we have in quantum marketing at Mastercard day in and day out. And the good thing is that we are having astoundingly good results. So we are now one of the fastest growing brands. We used to be at number 87 till a few years back, but now we are at number 11. We are the 11th most valuable brand. We are the world's number one audio brand for 5 years in a row. We are really setting the bleeding edge for experiential marketing. The way we got into neuromarketing, behavioral economics, it's actually totally game-changing in very unprecedented ways, and that's all by implementing quantum marketing.
It's really surprising that so many companies are using strategies that are 6 or 7 decades old. And I know you put a lot of importance on building trust with the next generation of consumers. What would you say is the best way to do so?
The younger generation of consumers, they are far more evolved as a human species than my generation is, for example. They are more socially focused. They are more driven by purpose, and they are more authentic to themselves. As a brand, if you don't relate to those values and manifest those behaviors that reflect those values, you are not going to be successful. So to appeal to these new generations, you have to be purpose-driven. Not for political correctness or not to make sound bites for your CEO to speak at conferences, but very genuinely. So the expectation from brands is not just to throw advertisements at consumers, but do something which is genuinely good. Whether that good has anything to do with your product category or not, it doesn't matter. And that is what we talk about as purpose-driven marketing. It's very different than cause marketing. Purpose-driven marketing is more like having a North Star. What is the purpose? What is that we're trying to accomplish? Cause marketing under that is more like a roadmap.
Well, I'm looking forward to learning more about all of your theories in quantum marketing, my next read. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me here.